Hello everyone, FSG here, hope you're all doing well. I am excited as anything to be able to show you the very first alpha release of Vehicle Control add-on for FS25. Now I say it is the alpha release, it is very, very early in the development cycle, so not all the functionality's there, we don't have any menus or anything like that to play with yet, but there's a lot of functionality that works already. And for me, I've used it over the last couple of weeks, and it's definitely helpful. It's definitely doing the stuff that I want it to do. I predominantly used it as a GPS tool rather than any of the engine requirements and any of the engine tools that it has available to it as well. Although I might be tempted to look into those a little bit more in FS25. There's a few nice ones in here. So I'm going to talk you through today how I'm using it. So it isn't all the functionality, and like I said, not all the functionality is there yet. But certainly as a GPS tool, it's pretty good. It is pretty good. So without further ado, we're going to jump in. We've got an 8RX. We are on the Horse map with the massive field, so we can just have a play around it. I've just thrown a cultivator on the back as well, quite an easy one to show you how things work. Right, we are in our tractor, and as you can see, we're just driving around as per normal here, and I am going to hit Control W, which was the same function as it was in FS22, and it brings up the lines there, and you can see there that we now have lines running, and if we drop down the implement and keep running, you can see our degrees there, 270 and 5.6 meters is our width. Now that little readout there and the miles per hour at the bottom, I'm guessing they're going to be styled at some point in the future. At the moment, like I said, very early alpha, so there are a few things that look like they're still being worked on. So there we go, we've been going for a little while now in the field. What we want to do now is lift our implement as if we got to the end of the row, and Alt A will rotate us round to the left, like so. We'll get ourselves lined up, lower the implement down, and off we go again. And look at that, perfectly straight lines, looking really, really good. And again, just to show you the other one, lift Alt D will rotate us around to start our next row as well. Lower the implement down and off we go again. So, same functions as we had in FS22 for those as well. You can of course rotate your rows as well. Those are using control and your up and down arrows. So you can see now we're rotating that around. Down to take it to the right, up to take it to the left. Let's try and keep it where we are at the moment. And the other one we can do is Control D to move it over a row, like so, and Control A to move it over to the left. So you've got all of that control available to you. I haven't yet found, and I think it's because there is no menu options yet, the ability to skip rows. That was one of the good things in FS22, was the fact you could skip rows. So you might have to do that a little bit more manually, which is relatively easy to do if you want to. So look, I can just turn, skip a row there, and line myself up here before hitting Control W again to head back down this way. So you can do it manually at the moment, and I'm sure that functionality will 100% be coming back in the next version. Now there's a couple of other things that are interesting as well. Like I said, I'm still delving into some of the functionality of this, and I will do a proper review. It's not worth doing a proper review yet because it's not finished. It would be unfair to Mogli, who's been building this and doing some great work on it, to say this is your kind of full tutorial for VCA. Once we get our first release with all of the functionality in place, we will do that. But Control Delete brings up Keep Speed, which is a nice little tool, which basically means then I can roll forward, set my speed at, let's say, 5 miles an hour, and I'm not touching any of my keys or anything like that. It's slightly different to if you're using cruise control, because you could adjust the speed all the time. Now this could come in handy when you're running alongside a combine harvester or something like that as well, unloading. But you can adjust this the whole way. Look, I've gone to 9 miles an hour there, and if you could look down in the bottom right hand corner there, my cruise control is actually set at 6, so it's totally ignoring anything that cruise control has in place. But what it's quite nice this for is running your cultivator. So we'll run it at its max speed, 9.3 there, but as you get to the end of a row, so let's say we've reached the edge of the field now, you can drop the speed down, just, there we go, 4.7, raise the implement turn, because what you find is a little bit of bouncing around. If you turn too quickly with VCA, it does tend to mess with the steering a little bit. But there we go, nice clean turn there. And then we can ramp the speed back up. And we don't have to worry about sitting on the accelerator or cruise control or anything like that. So it's just quite a nice way of doing things, which is good. Now, another feature of this, I'm going to just pull up the F1 menu for a second here so you can see this. But basically, we have VCA camera. So you press Alt and the square space, or right square space. You can see we've got camera rotation inside and out, and camera rotation off. So let's go inside and out. And I really like this as a feature. First and foremost, let's just reduce our keep speed to the point at which we go to 0. And now if I press reverse here, look, it flips the camera around to reverse. Now we're obviously doing 6.1 reverse. Now if I go forward again, it flips the camera back round. So that's quite nice. But watch this. This is what I really like. When you go to the end of our row, so let's just run to the end here. We'll lift our implement. We'll do all the things we just did before there. Slow down to a more manageable turning speed, like so. We will lift the implement. And we're going to spin our round to a new left lane. Look, the camera rotates slightly on the turn and then rotates back when you are in place, which I really, really like. It's just a nice little touch. So let me just stop there. If I turn the wheels there, you can see we get a little bit of rotation of the camera to help us see round corners and things like that. And again, same works in the cab. I don't know why I like that. I just think it's something that's quite a little bit more immersive. Helps you look round corners, helps you see where your next row is, things like that. It's definitely helpful in cab as well as out of cab. But yeah, just a nice little touch that I like that. But there we go. Off again. Let's zoom out a little bit. And away we go. Now there are lots of kind of engine, motor settings, diff settings, things like that. I'm getting mixed results when I try those. I think it's probably more to be that I'm not used to them, rather than maybe not working, or they've not been switched on in the mod yet. But we'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, I will come back. You know, the things like automatic shifting. Now I run automatic already, so I'm wondering if that's an element that you can switch on. If you use manual gears, you can switch on automatic shifting when you're in VCA mode and things like that. So there you go. It also has the RPM option. Let me just stop us there. But it also has, if you use the equals and the minus buttons, you've got a hand throttle. And if you listen very closely, in fact I'll zoom in closer to the tractor so you can hear the noise better. You can really ramp the revs up. Which is a nice touch, and again minus to bring them down. And also, you've got a handbrake, so if you press the semicolon, I press the semicolon there, I hit the accelerator, you can see actually his foot going on the accelerator there. I go nowhere. So maybe a handy one if you're working on a hilly farm. And again, we'll turn that off. And there we go, off again. So lots and lots of clever little tools going on in there. And I'm sure a lot more to come as this is developed further. But if you want to go and get this, this is on GitHub. There isn't an official release of this yet, so bear that in mind. This isn't a finished mod in any way, shape or form, so just know you're using a developmental version. So if some of the stuff doesn't work, don't get upset about it. Drop a little bug report in and help Mogli out and help him develop it. But if you have been missing VCA and you want it back, and you specifically use certain elements like the guidance steering, it's working really, really well, that part of it at the moment. So go grab it. And I think it's working really, really well so far. Also, do you know what else works really, really well? Is Be My Tracking as a eye and head tracker for Farming Simulator 25. And at the moment they are running their spring sale where you can get 20% off. So check this out. Ever wished your gaming experience could be more immersive without splurging on expensive hardware? Well, meet Be My Tracker. This innovative software transforms your existing webcam or smartphone into a powerful eye and head tracking device. With support for over 200 PC games, including favourites like Farming Simulator 25 and Flight Simulator, Be My Tracker expands your in-game field of view, making gameplay more intuitive and engaging. It's easy to set up, budget-friendly and compatible with most webcams and smartphones. Plus, there's a free demo available on Steam, so you can try it before you buy. Elevate your gaming setup today for just $30 with Be My Tracker. For more information and to download, visit the link in the description. I thought one of the best ways to see what kind of functionality is already in VCA and what is coming down the line is to check out the controls menu. So we've got the camera there, diff manual, motor mod, gear split, snap width. Then we've got all of the GPS functions in there that we've just looked at. You can actually set an AB line. We'll actually go back out and show you that one because that's quite cool. Work area marker shows you where your lines are. And then we've got all the camera elements, permanent keep speed. We showed that keep speed function there. Speed swap, I don't really know what that is. There's the handbrake, speed limiter, automatic shifting on and off. Now we have automatic on already, so we don't tend to use that. But then you've got all-wheel drive there. You've got your diff locks, hand throttle, all of those things, folding and unfolding things through here as well, and gear splitter at the bottom. So lots and lots of functionality that I haven't delved into yet, but we'll be looking at over the future as this mod develops. But yes, the last one I wanted to show you, which I think is a good one to bear in mind, because again, you can set it by the angles you are in the field. But let's say, for example, we're going down the edge of the field. We'll find the edge here. You can manually set this angle as well, rather than it being an incremental 5 degrees or 2 degrees or whatever you set. We can actually run along the edge here. So if I do something like this. Now I have noticed with this, so the key for this is Alt-E. Now if I do Alt-E now, it just throws me out the tractor. So this tends to only work, or certainly it has only worked for me, is if you've got your foot on the accelerator and you're running along the edge of the field, press Alt-E here. In fact, I'll bring up the F1 menu because you can see at the bottom the F1 menu. If I press Alt-E once, it sets the A point. And if I press Alt-E again, it will set the B point. And there you go. You can see the white lines have come up, and that shows you that you've set it along the edge of the field. So that's a nice little touch there, and you can see it's 206.1 degrees, so pretty accurate. Now it looks like it creeps slightly into the field going down here, so you might, again, as you get a little bit further along, want to reset that. And you can just do that by nudging the wheel slightly. So there we go. Alt-E again, and Alt-E again. Now I'm even further off now, but you get the idea. Now if you want to pick up this new version of VCA, you need to go to Mogli's GitHub page. Now you will see here, you can find it there, FS25 Vehicle Control Add-on. You basically want to click on this. Like I said, there's no release of it yet, so you click on this here onto the zip version, and there is a button here to download the raw file. That will download the zip file for you, and you just drop it into your mods folder as you would, and away you go. I'm delighted this is back. This has always been an incredibly helpful mod for me. It's one of those must installs with every game for me. It just gives you that flexibility and that freedom to set things and the control you've got over it. I think one of the key things that I like about it over the base game GPS, that you can play around with it and set it to how you want and your preferences. So great mod, great mod. So go check it out if you want to. Bear in mind, like I said, I can't say this enough times, this is an alpha version, not even a beta version, an alpha version. So the first of the versions of it. So there will be updates, there will be changes coming to it. But on the face of it, from what I've played with so far, the core functionality is working very well. So on that note, happy playing, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care. Bye for now.